I wanted to do a short video for Storism to show you how far we've got, also show some of the features, and I'd love to get any feedback from what I show you. So we have a look. I've got an account called Your Business, and looking at the dashboard here, we can see that it's not in a perfect state. We currently have 13 missing descriptions, 2 items in here missing a GDPR purpose, and incomplete connections, and we'll go through and see what each of those mean. We can also see from the dashboard that we have 3 items that are flagged as GDPR. We also have 1 item which is not used in any of our models. So if we go through and have a look, we just have a single model configured at the moment. And here we can see our nice view of exactly what we have within this model. So on the left-hand side, we can see we have 3 different creators, so items that are creating data within our environment. They are creating these different fields. So if we have a look at this article title, we'll see that's being created by both the old and the new systems, and that is being used by the article. If we move over to the right hand side, this article entity is made up from 4 different fields, and it is being consumed by the website. The green means that it is clear of GDPR. It's set as not applicable. The author name is flagged as personal, which is why it is orange. If it's red, it means it's been flagged as sensitive. So we can see as we navigate through, news is made from news title and author name, and that's going both to website and app. So the idea is this view is to give you a nice, clear, concise overview. If you're swapping systems, as we're doing here, you can check that the same things are being created. If you want to make any changes to any fields or entities, you can easily see what's happening, what the impact would be from how that is created or where it is going. It also helps if you look at the fields that are available and you think there might be a new or novel way of combining those for a new entity to be consumed somewhere else, then it can help describe that for you. When we're viewing this, it's independent of any technologies. It's from the strategic point of view of these are the things that we have within the organization. So we don't care exactly what the data is, how it's being used, how it's being created. This shows us that this is what we're doing as a business. And the idea around this is technology moves on. Strategically, it should be thinking about the 3-5 year plan as well. So if something else comes along, if there's a better way of consuming your data, if the best way of creating them, or those small incremental changes, is this allows you to have a record of what's happening as these technologies change, as thinking advances. So we can scroll down, and this takes us into a bit more of a detailed view of what we see above. So the human resource system, we can see is showing these 3 items. We can also see this in this view. We can also see that it's telling us off because we haven't put a description on, and it's also flagging up saying that these 3 items are GDPR compliant, or they need to ensure GDPR compliance. And the reason that we added this view is when you come to do a change request and you want to say, for example, I want to change an article. Here you can fairly easily see from a snapshot what is going into creating an article and where it is being used. So it helps inform discussions. If a change manager wants to look at this and say, okay, have you checked all of these items? Then it's quite clear in here that everything has been covered. We can then, when we're looking at our configuration, so if we look here, we've got human resources is creating author, which is being used by article and news, but last name and first name is not actually being used by anything else. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we will create a new entity, and we will just call this one contact. If I can type. Okay, so we now have a new entity that we can use in our model. So next thing we'll need to do is configure and add this. So we're going to turn on this contact, and we'll say this will use first and last name. We can save this, go back to the configuration, and all that will happen now is we can see they've got a bit further. So human resources creates the last and first name, it goes to contact, but that is not currently used anywhere. So we can go back in and we can say that the website uses contacts. So we can save that and go back to configuration. And here we can see now exactly where that is being used, and this is connected all the way through. If we realize that there's actually a better way of having these systems, then we could say, for example, new system also creates this information. So we can go to configure, we'll go up to our creator, down to our create a new system and say, actually, we've decided that within our organization there is a better tooling, there's better ways that we can do this using new system. We can add that in. We can now see the new system is doing that. And when we would do something like this, that would obviously be a project of work to implement that change, understand that that transition can be done, and the way that these fields are being used is also considered and managed. So Storism gives you that clear overview of which systems are creating data, and this can be really handy if you're looking at reducing some of your footprint. If you've got many systems doing the same jobs, or you have got a creaking system that needs to be replaced, you can see what it's doing within your organization. You can understand whether you're duplicating data or manipulating it in different ways for different uses through the fields and entities. And you can also see where this data is going. And this could also be useful if you have a particular service or channel which is down, a website's down, an app is down, to be able to understand what content that was serving to people. So there's many different ways that you can look at using this information once it is documented. And we're going to continue to build out this dashboard to ensure that it's really useful as you open this up on a Monday morning, and make sure that your documentation is complete. You understand exactly what is happening within your data. If you're ever asked for a GDP report, we've got all of the information at hand, and making sure that you don't have any gaps or parts of your systems that aren't doing what they're intended. I'd love to hear any feedback. Drop us a note. Thank you.